When you shoot with these kind of zoom lenses, this is a 55 to 50 zoom lens. So when you shoot with these kind of zoom lenses where you have a higher focal length, in the display the image looks good. But when you take the image home and try to post process it, it looks a bit shaky, right? Do you know why that happens? Okay, watch this video till the end. I have a tip to solve that issue. So watch today's video on. Today's video is back to a tutorial video. It's a Learn Photography episode 3 where we are going to discuss about shutter speed. So we have already discussed about the other two pillars of photography, that is ISO and aperture. If you have not checked those videos, I'll give a card, not here, maybe here. Yeah, I'll give a card here. Do check those videos. So you'll have a better idea of aperture and ISO, so that you can continue with this video where you have a better idea of shutter speed. So here I have made a setup where I have my Canon 700D camera here, and I'm just going to use this hand fan to explain shutter speed. So let's learn shutter speed today. So what are the things we are going to discuss today? What is shutter speed? What is slow shutter? What is fast shutter? How to set up shutter speed, how does shutter speed affects the light in your image, how is shutter speed gonna affect the sharpness of your image, and by the way, in between I'm gonna say that trick or how to solve the solution of blurred images when you use zoom lenses. So that is another solution I am going to give in this video, so watch the video till the end. So these are the things we are going to discuss in today's video. So if you want to see any one section particularly, I'm just going to drop down those time codes down below in the description. You can just click on the time codes and dive to that section. So before starting the video, if you are new here, I am Carrio from India. So if you are new here, do hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon to get regularly notified whenever I make a video. I'll make sure you never regret. And yeah, now without wasting any time, let's get into the video. So welcome back guys. So I have this diary here so that I don't forget things when I make this video. So just ignore this and let's discuss on the shutter speed. So first, what is shutter speed? So we have the three pillars of photography, which are the ISO, aperture and shutter speed. Why are they called the pillars of photography? Because they are the ones that decide the amount of light in an image. These three are also called as exposure triangle. As I said earlier, if you have not checked my videos on ISO and aperture, you can just check it out here. And yes, now going to shutter speed. So what is a shutter speed? So I have already said in my previous videos how a DSLR camera works. So when light enters the camera, there is a mirror which reflects the light, and there is a prism that helps you to see the whatever it is, see the view in your viewfinder. So when you click this camera button, shutter button, what actually happens is the mirror just moves away and the sensor in the camera is visible. So the light entering the lens falls on the sensor, but the amount of light entering the lens is controlled by the shutters. So there are actually two shutters inside the camera. So when the shutter button is clicked, one shutter just slides down and another shutter will come parallelly along with it. So this is a small amount of gap through which the light enters the sensor. So if you have a higher shutter speed, this movement will be faster. If you have a slower shutter speed, this movement will be slower. That's the small matter. That's how shutter majorly involves in capturing an image. So what is the shutter speed? The speed with which these two shutters moves in a DSLR camera is called as a shutter speed. So now, what is a fast shutter? What is a slow shutter? So as you know, shutter speed is measured in seconds. If the shutter moves at the speed of 1/4000 of a second, that is the fastest shutter speed possible in this camera, which is Canon 700D, 1/4000 of a second. If the shutter can stay open up to 30 seconds, that is the slower shutter speed. You can actually stay open more than that with the help of a bulb mode, but the available setting is 30 seconds. So which is a slower shutter speed. So from 30 to 1/4000 of a second, shutter speed varies. So that's the difference between a slower and a faster shutter speed. So we have covered what is shutter speed, what is faster and slower shutter speed. So now, how to set up a shutter speed? So for all the cameras, you have a specific button or these kind of rollers helps to set up the shutter speeds. So now I have kept the camera in auto mode and we are going to capture this fan. This is a hand fan. We are going to use it as a model for today's video or a product for today's video, whatever it is. So now what I'm going to do is just capture an image of this. So everything is auto here. Maybe I'll just also put the focus on auto. So we have got the image. Maybe I'll just display on the screen. So we are just using the window light that is available here and we have kept everything in auto and we have took an image. Now let's see what is the shutter speed that's been used in this image. So here the shutter speed used is 1/30th of a second. So the camera has sensed that there is no motion in this object and hence it has used a bit slower shutter speed and we have got this image. So now how does shutter speed affects the light in an image? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check the values of ISO and aperture in this image that we took in auto mode. I'm just going to set the same by keeping in manual mode. I'm just going to vary the shutter speed and take images. Let's see how shutter speed really affects light in an image. So I'm just turning it to the manual mode. So we are going to switch off the autofocus. So we are going to put it on manual focus as we have to vary the shutter speeds and all. So I'm actually focusing to the blades or the fan, whatever you say that. So yeah, focusing is done. Now we are taking the image with the same settings that we got in auto mode. 1/30th of a second shutter, ISO 400 and the aperture 4.5. So let's click this image. So you can see the amount of light in this image. Now what I'm going to do is just increase the shutter speed, which means I'm just going to keep a faster shutter. So 1/100th of a second. I'm not rotating the fan, it's just stable. 1/200th of a second, 1/400 of a second, 1/640 of the second, 1/1000. So now we have covered the faster shutter speed. Let's move down to slower shutters. 1/15th of a second, 1/5 of a second, 1 second, 4 seconds. So I'll just put up a grid of all these images where I have shot the fan with different shutter speeds but same aperture and ISO. And this shows how shutter speed actually affects the light in an image. So if you see these images, you can get to a conclusion that using a slower shutter brings or lets in a lot of amount of light, while using a higher shutter like 1/1000 lets only a little bit of amount of light into the lens. And that's why when we used a very slow shutter like 4 seconds, it's totally overexposed, and when we used a higher shutter of 1/1000 of a second, it's totally underexposed where the image is very dark. That's how shutter speed affects the light or exposure of an image. So now moving on to the next part where we are going to see how shutter speed affects the sharpness of an image. So we are going to do something different this time. I'm just going to rotate this fan. So I'm just going to keep clicking on the hand fan and this fan is going to rotate. But this time it's going to be quite different. I'm not shooting in manual mode. I'm just moving it to the shutter priority mode, which is TV in Canon cameras. I think yes in Nikon and other cameras. So moving on to the shutter priority mode, which is the TV mode, I'm just going to capture the images. So except the shutter and ISO, aperture is automatically set by the camera to adjust the light that is let in. So I will keep the ISO same as I kept on the manual mode, which is 400, and I'm just going to vary the shutter speed and capture images. Let's see what happens. So first, as we saw in the auto mode, I will keep the shutter at 1/30th of a second. So if you see, we have got a good amount of motion blur in this image. Now we are going to increase the shutter speed and check how the images come. 1/100th of a second. So now if you see, in the last image the fan blades were not visible, but in this image a little bit of, or the, the outline of the fan blades is quite visible. from 1 by 100 to 1 by 250. So now again I'm going to increase the shutter to 1 by 500. The fan blades are a bit more visible. Now let's move to 1 by 1000 of a second. 1 by 1600 of a second. So we'll go to 1 by 2000 of a second. So if you see in 1 by 2000 of a second, it looks like the fan wings are still and there is no motion blur in the image. As I said earlier, the two shutters in the camera moves very fast. In that fast motion, whatever is available, it captures very fast. And that's why this motion was not visible in 1 by 2000 of a second. So now I have kept it 1 by 15th of a second. So if you see, you have a good amount of motion blur in this image. 1 by 5th of a second. So if you see, the fan blades are not at all visible now. 1 second. 5 second exposure. There is no wings in the fan itself, hand fan. 20 seconds exposure. It's totally overexposed and also the fans is not visible. So I can't reduce the shutter more than this because nothing will be visible. From all these images, you would have yourself found out how shutter speed affects the sharpness of an image and how shutter speed affected the light in an image. So as you increase the shutter speed, the image gets sharper, and when you decrease the shutter speed, you get a lot of motion blur in your image. And that's why for sports photography or bird photography, which involves a lot of motion, we use a higher shutter speed of greater than 1 by 1000 of a second. While when we shoot kind of light painting or when you shoot the flow of water, we keep a slow shutter speed so that you capture light for a long time and you have a silky kind of effect on your image. It's more smooth. You have motion blur in your image. So if you see these two images, this image which is shot at 1 by 1600 of a second is of higher shutter speed and it's very sharp such that all the little small droplets of this image is clearly visible. While if you see this image of a light painting where the entire movement of a light is captured, this is shot at a very slow shutter speed such that all the movement of light in the frame is captured. You can also try the same to capture flowing water, kind of river or waterfalls, whatever it is. You will have a silky effect on the waterfall so that it looks really good. So that's how shutter speed should be used for your images. Slow shutter speed if you want to capture a greater or a longer exposure, and higher shutter speed if you want to capture actions or motions. So that's how you must select your shutter speed to capture your images. And now let's get to the problem that you, me, everyone has. So when we shoot an image with these kind of zoom lenses, after shooting the image, when we see in the display, the image looks good. But when we just try to post process in our computer, it looks a bit shaky. So why does that happen? So this actually happens because when we use these kind of zoom lenses to capture something that is not moving, at those times we need to keep the shutter speed greater than the focal length. For example, if I am using 250mm zoom lens and I am just going to shoot something, be it a building, just imagine a building. If I am going to shoot a building which is quite far away, I am using a zoom lens at 250mm focal length, and if I keep the shutter at 1 by 125 of a second, which is less than 250mm, there you will face the shake. This is because of the hand shake. Your camera will not be able to handle the shake of your hands. So that's why what you have to do is, if you are shooting at 250mm focal length, then you have to keep the shutter greater than 250, at least greater than 260 actually, because it should be higher than the focal length so that your camera is able to handle your handshake. So this is the tip I wanted to share at the beginning of this video. So whenever you shoot with zoom lenses or be it any lens, keep your shutter a bit more greater than the focal length with which you are shooting. So have this in mind, take sharper images. So now we have seen what is a shake and we have also seen what is a motion blur. So I'll just give a small difference between these two. You are shooting a still object and you have a shake in that photo, then that is the shake of your hands. If you are shooting a moving object and you have a shake in that image, then that is a motion blur. So this is a difference between shake and a motion blur. So just check this image. I have shot this image few months back. This is actually a panning shot where I am just capturing a moving vehicle. So we have a good amount of motion blur in this image. That's the difference between a shake and a motion blur. So what else? Yeah, almost covered everything. So one tip I will tell you to master the shutter speed is try shooting in shutter priority mode. People will say you are a best shooter if you could shoot in manual mode. Don't just believe these myths and all. You have to master the camera, not just particular mode. You have to master all the modes. From the frame, you have to find which mode perfects for this frame. So that's how you can master your camera. So yes, to master the shutter speed, just try shooting in shutter priority mode. You can also try light painting and long exposure images with your camera with the help of shutter speed. I have made a separate video for light painting. Maybe you can just check that out. And you can also go try out long exposure on roads where you can capture the light trails of vehicles. I hope this is quite a long video. I have shot for 43 minutes. I don't know how much I will edit this. So that's it for this video, guys. I tried to explain a lot in this video and I hope that was helpful for you. If yes, do hit that like button. That will be a good motivation for me. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Maybe the call out was here. Hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon to get regularly notified. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. We'll meet you in another tutorial. Until then, it's your Cario signing off.